Alrighty, welcome to the first season power rankings for the Sunrise Draft League. I am Bolivia. I'm the or I'm the commissioner of the Sunrise Draft League and also a coach. Mm. And today I'm going to be going over the teams in my ranking of them. But I'm not here alone. I'm joined by coach of the Chicago Bulls, Drolo. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Drolo. I'm the coach for your Chicago Bulls in the Sunrise Draft League.
Yeah, so this is pretty simple. As you can see with our first team, a bit of a spoiler. Sorry, bees. You have up here is my ranking of the team. Up here is Datboy, who is our co-commissioner and the moderator of the server. His ranking of the team. And then the X factor is how far away Dat Boy's ranking is from my ranking. So B's, despite being the lowest in my ranking, actually has a really good X factor because Dat Boy likes his team a bit more. But I I don't like this team. This team is okay.
I don't like it at all, personally. That's from my perspective. You have three water types with no ground. Sorry,
Yeah.
four water
Mm-hmm.
types with no ground type. I mean, you could run Sheer Force, um, Tauros with Bulldoze. That can be an option for him.
Yeah, that's like his one. Well, there's no Z move, so you can't run Z Dig Greninja.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Protein Gren is great. Uh, Jirachi is great. Like he has a lot
Jirachi's
of.
a great Wishmon.
Yeah,
If you want like switch it one that has lower health.
he has a lot of good stuff on this team, and then he just has a lot of awful stuff. And it's like,
If he had a rain setter like Politoed, it would probably be a bit better. Like if he, let's say he got rid of Kingler for Politoed, I think it would be a lot better.
yeah, because he'd have the Swift Swim Amistar.
Cause he, yeah, and he could run Thunder on Latios. He can run a mixed set on Tauros with Thunder if he wanted to.
Yeah, but I don't
You know.
understand what. Like, I don't even think that would make it that much better because he still is so weak to electric. He
Oh yeah,
has
no, definitely.
he has
He's
two
like
resists and four
he
weaknesses.
if he brings he's definitely very limited on what he can bring into a fight. Who
Yeah.
is he fighting for?
Uh,
Um,
I don't have the schedule. I will pull up the schedule on my phone. He is. I
no,
think.
I could pull.
I think he's in.
Is that, I think he's in, I know he's in Darkrai.
Yeah, I think he's in Darkrai South. If I had to guess, I will. I'm pulling it up right now.
I actually have it up in front of me.
Oh, dope. Okay, wait. Who's he play week one?
Uh, Matchups. Week one, he's facing Jamal. He's gonna get his ass wiped by
what
Jamal.
does he? What does he even bring? No, honestly, his matchup versus Jamal is not even that bad. He has Jirachi, great resist to Psychic, and he has Finny to mess with the terrain. Yo, Jamal going 0-1 to Bees, that'd be flames. Nah,
If
but
B's won against Jamal, I'd be 100% shocked to say the least.
but I don't. I feel like yeah, I really do not like this team. There's Mega Glalie is the goat Pokemon, fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Spikes,
Mega Glalie amazing, especially with
Spikes,
Refrigerate
refri-
Explosion
refrigerate explosion,
is amazing.
goat explosion. Yeah,
All right,
okay. Matchups week one, he's playing Jamal. Oh, so he's in Darkrai North, and no, he plays Jamal and Record Man week one and two. Those are two good teams. So he
yeah, those are two really good teams.
it's not looking good for him. I like I like Arcanine, but I don't know why you also have Embor.
Yeah, I think Ember should have been substituted for something like I don't know Torterra. Torterra would have been amazing.
Torterra. I like Torterra on this team a lot actually. Um,
Torterra would help a lot because shell armor. It's a ground type. It adds grass coverage for his team.
yeah, and his
If you
team
wanted to run a fire
he
water
deals
grass
with
type.
he deals with ice really well. He has four water types, so some four
Yeah, but
resists
anything with
off.
freeze strike can just destroy them.
Oh yeah,
Technically,
no,
Greninja doesn't count as a water type because he's probably going to be running Protean almost
yeah.
all the time.
I don't know why he'd ever run Torrent. Protean is so much better, but even then it switches in as a water type. So, but yeah, okay. I think this team doesn't really have the best. No, it has good removal. It is Tapu Fini, which is a good defogger, and Lottie can run defog as well. Does
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Omastar gets rapid spin, but I mean, there's webs with
I
this team. Charge bug webs could be pretty cool, but yeah, this
charge
team
bug
is
webs, but you're probably gonna want to run Focus Sash Charge Bug because I don't think it could take a hit even with Evilite from
yeah.
some of the
No,
mons that were drafted.
this team is gonna be like this team's gonna have a lot of issues. If he swaps out Embor for Torterra, I think it might go up one spot, but I really think he needs to drop. He needs to reform. I don't think
He needs
that.
to drop I think he needs to drop Kingler Omastar
Yeah, for like an electric type and
for an electric type and what do you
and
think, an ice
a
type?
ground type. No, he wants a ground type for sure. But if he's dropping Embor, drop
Yeah, if
Embor,
he drops Embor,
Kingler,
that's
Amistar.
like instant.
Get like Torterra, Rotom Fridge. Uh,
That'd be good.
yeah, something maybe to I don't like a maybe a Scarfer. I feel like you kind of want a Scarfer on this team that's not Protean, Gren, or Lottie because those are like your big breakers.
Yeah, those are gonna help you sweep through walls.
Well, I think Tauros is a good Pokemon. Alright, but enough about bees.
Tauros is a great Pokemon.
Good Pokemon for sure. That's one of my favorite picks. Alright, let's move on to number 15.
Next team.
We've got Phoenix, the coach of the Toronto Typhlosion, at 15. That boy has one higher. Our 15 and our 14 are switched. So this X Factor's +1. And see, here's the thing. There are a lot of teams in this draft that had the option to pick such better stuff, and they didn't.
I'm facing Phoenix week 1, and I'm a little horrified, not gonna lie.
This team has lots of
Because
cool stuff, and then there's just some stuff that does not make sense to me.
what doesn't make sense to you personally?
Okay. He I don't see much offensive presence at all besides Infernape, the dog, and Alolan Sandslash, which if you're running Alolan Sandslash, you need to run Alolan Ninetales as well. And this hail is kind of limited, so it's really easy to prep for.
You also could run Hail on Milotic if you really wanted to.
What's I've never seen that in my life. I don't know what the like tech is.
I just assume you would probably put Hail on Milotic. You would run Blizzard. You would run Scald. You would run like a basic tanky Milotic set, but just have instead of like Toxic, which we can't use in this draft, you would just have Hail.
Why can't we use Toxic?
I thought those moves were banned.
It's not cut. It is not a cut move. It's available. Yeah, Toxic is definitely legal. I'm confused as to why. What the heck?
Oh.
Yeah, no,
That was a banned move.
Toxic is around. Okay, I'm gonna pull up all the cut moves that are not allowed.
I know Dragon Rage got cut.
Yeah, no, Dragon Rage got cut, stuff like that. Sonic Boom. The important ones are like Jump Kick, Meditate, Sonic Boom, Dragon Rage. Mirror Move is cut.
Hidden Power got cut.
Yeah, Hidden Power is the big one. Hidden Power Pursuit are the big ones. Yeah, but toxic
Yeah.
is absolutely legal. I don't
It's
know.
big.
Well, refresh is kind of a big one that got cut.
I thought it wasn't legal. That was my mistake.
Yeah, no.
Oh
The
yeah, definitely.
yeah, luckily it's still yeah, okay. Enough about that. It is definitely legal. Um yeah, so Milotic can run like but even if you run a tanky Milotic, if you're running it inhale with Flame Orb to trigger Marvel Scale, then you're taking like 24% chip or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
really
think
like.
Mandibuzz is a good pick because of Overcoat, but that's like
Oh
the
yes,
extent.
definitely.
That's the extent of his hail synergy. I don't think a lot of this team appreciates the hail damage.
Mhm. I mean, he could run safety goggles if he really wanted to.
Yeah, but that just seems like a waste. I feel like there's there's even with Aurora Veil, there's not even a lot on this team that wants to set up. There's like Zydog, and if you're running Iron Defense Body Press Mega Aggron, that
I
also works.
mean, Orbeetle is a great screen setter with Light Clay.
Yeah,
It's
you
what
get
Ladian should have been.
or Beetle gets screens. He has Aurora Veil, so he has a lot of mons that help clear the way for other stuff. But he doesn't have anything that clears the way. I mean, like Nasty Plot, Swords Dance, Infernape isn't even that good without Z moves because it just gets dropped by so much stuff. Doesn't really have the like firepower to back it up. Jolteon, in my opinion, was one of the worst picks in the draft because you could have gotten it maybe like
Yeah, you could have gotten it a lot. He was
for
very conservative with his picks.
yeah, and he waited till the very end, and like the big surprise was he got one hail abuser and a hail setter. It didn't really make much sense to me. Serena's good. Uh, Mandibuzz is good. Florges is good. It's a lot of good Pokemon, but there's to me little to no synergy here. His Firewater Grass Core is Infernape, Milotic, and then Serena. He has no Dragon type on this team. His ground type is
No, he has
Zygarde.
Zardog.
Oh,
Zard-
oh, yeah, yeah,
Zardog is
yeah,
Ground Dragon.
yeah.
So
My
he
bad, my
could
bad.
run Florges, Zydog, Alolan Sandslash.
Yeah, or Mega Aggron. Alright.
Oh
That's
yes,
that
I
statement's
think that's a
rescinded.
lot. That's a lot more threatening than Slash. Not gonna lie.
I agree. He did double up on the steel, but steel's a good type, so I can't really complain. The only time I'm gonna get mad if you double up on types is if it's not like steel, fairy, water, or dark, or something,
Yeah,
or if it's like weather. But yeah, this team is just kind of bad. There's no standout Pokemon for me. They're all just kind of good.
Yeah, I see like from since I'm battling him week one, I see Infernape as a threat. That's
Yeah.
just my perspective.
Yeah, you have to prepare for this team. Obviously, I definitely don't want to underestimate it, but like he took Infernape round one.
it can definitely pull something out of thin air and then like completely mess up his opponent
Yeah.
if they underestimate him to say the least.
So my big improvements for this team would be to drop Hail and
Yeah, I would definitely drop the hail.
drop the Hail and drop
I would
Zygarde.
pick up something like Ice Cube.
Drop the Hail
I
and
would
drop
them.
Zygarde Dog and pick up Zygarde 50%.
Okay.
Because Zydog is good on this team, but he has no like standout big Pokemon, and I think if he adds Zygarde 50, then this team goes like way up. But alright, let's move on to the next team, which is Tiny. I have him at 14. Datboy has him one lower at 15. The only reason I put him above Phoenix is because Suicune is the goat. But
Oh yeah, Suicune's an insane bulky water.
this team has a lot of holes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Zoroark is cool, but I don't
Zoroark
know
is
why
definitely
you
cool. You can mess up your opponent with that.
I don't know why you took Zoroark and Minior so early.
Yeah. Meteor Meteor is a good Shell Smash Pokemon. If you let it set up Shell Smash, you're definitely can get messed up.
Yeah. But just priority is very good versus team. Mm.
Oh, I mean, Galewing's Talonflame is definitely his biggest threat, and Scizor as well.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is I think that this team has a lot of good mons. It's kind of like the last one, where it's a lot of good mons and then no synergy. Like this team's fairy type is Galarian Weezing, which
Galarian Weezing can be useful though. Like if I don't think anybody drafted
no, there's no like arena trap stuff. If that's
yeah,
where you're going. With. But
yeah,
if someone had Gothitelle or Dugtrio, then yeah, Galarian Weezing's good. But like I don't know why stuff
I mean,
like
it could be good against Parental Bond.
and then yeah, okay. Yeah, it could. It's a good counter
Parental Bond.
when he plays Lin. If he plays Lin, it is a good. I concur. But a lot of the stuff on this team is like good and then no synergy. Mega Scizor is obviously fantastic, but you really want something to. Yeah, it gets Curse now too. Curse on this thing is a tragedy.
Ooh.
Yeah, great Pokemon. Yeah, and just the fact that it's one of the leagues with some SQs. Piggy. That's a toss up for me. They're both pretty okay teams, but okay. Suicune is a good Pokemon because you can run the despicable Sleep Talk set with Calm Mind and Scald. And on teams that don't have a water immunity, you kind of just expose them because it's so bulky. It's a great cleaner. Zoroark is like, okay, I look at this team, I see Zoroark, Suicune, Talonflame, Mega Scizor, and Rotom Mow, all as Pokemon that I like.
I like Lucario. Like, you can run mixed or physical Lucario.
You can.
Or special Lucario.
Yeah.
Like, if he needs to prep for someone that has, like, a couple of dragons, like, that could be very good.
But, like, Mr. Rhyme, I don't know why
Mr.
Mr.
Rhyme's screen cleaner is actually could be good.
Well, I don't.
Like,
yeah, you just don't bring screens versus it, and well, there's a lot of okay, Snorlax without the Z is kind of like you're just gonna be running the Curse Figgy Berry Recycle set. That's like the only thing it's gonna do. This team also has really bad, like longevity. You don't have a Wish Passer.
yeah.
A lot of the stuff. I mean, okay, Mega Scizor gets Roost. Snorlax gets Recover. I think Recover sounds right. Talonflame gets Roost. But stuff like Rotom Mow doesn't really get reliable recovery outside of Pain Split. Suicune's reliable recovery is Rest. Zoroark gets no recovery. Minior gets no recovery. Galarian Weezing gets no recovery. This team, I think struggles pretty hard versus Stall, unless you bring like the correct setup. But this team it's a bunch of setup sweepers. Suicune, Mega Scizor, Minior, Talonflame, Snorlax, Lucario.
I should definitely see Dottler putting in some work though.
Oh, Dottler is fantastic. Dottler's really good.
Dottler can definitely put in some work if it needs to.
He has some good webs abusers. I think Zoroark is of the speed tier where it's very good with webs. Especially you can like up here is Mega Scizor, but your Zoroark. Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, this team does not have good synergy. It has awful longevity. its removal is pretty meh. Rotamo is a good defogger, but this
Yeah.
yeah okay. Let's move on to Lin, who is 13th, and Dat Boy has him as the worst team, but I don't think that's true. But
Yeah,
he's
that's Lynn has a very good team. Sil Valley, you can run that any type whenever you want.
okay. I've had Silvali, um, in my first draft league. The first draft league I ever did that was like a full league. I made the finals. I had Melmetal Slowbro. This was over the summer. Silvali was there. Silvali is dope. He's got Nido Queen was also there. He's got Silvali, Nido Queen, Reuniclus, Superior. Those are all Pokemon I like. Jellison I
Yeah,
like too.
if he really wants to, he can make that fire, make Superior, Jellicent,
Yeah,
Sil
Silvali
Valley,
Fire.
a Fireball, Grass Core.
Yeah,
Like
Silvali
and
does.
that didn't its signature move get a buff this gen?
Yeah, multi attack is 120 base power, which is pretty
That's
strong.
disgusting.
But here's the thing with this team. The the Mega Kangaskhan pick at number 2 I think is not good. I think that Mega Kangaskhan without Seismic Toss really struggles versus a lot of like
I don't know.
physical walls.
Power punch can be a real struggle because that's 2 attack boosts in 1 turn.
Yeah, I mean with Scrappy, yeah, but like just bring Hayes. Hayes destroys this team. Hayes destroys
Yeah,
Superior. Hayes destroys Kangaskhan. It destroys Shuckle Shell Smash because I know he said he wanted to do that. Okay, I don't understand why you needed to draft 2 bug types. Bug is like the worst type in the game.
I mean,
Uh, Vikavolt
Bug
and
can be pretty useful in some situations. I think out of all the bug types he could have drafted, these actually worked pretty well for his team. Vikavolt having access to I think it's Mudshot can be good for accuracy lowering on the opponent's hand. It's a great Weber,
it
especially
is a
since
good Weber,
because of levitate.
but Shuckle's also a Weber. Both of their best sets
Shuckle's
is
also
webs.
a Weber, but it's good if you want to keep something in the stall it with infestation toxic.
Yeah, but Gudra does.
It's also a rock setter on his team.
If he wanted to stall something with Infestation Toxic, I would have picked Gudra because you can run the Infestation Toxic rest set in the rain because you'll rest up
That's
and then
yeah.
rain with hydration. We'll get to Gudra later, much later actually. But okay, Reuniclus, dope setup sweeper. This thing is satanic with and acid armor
Mm-hmm.
and calm mind. You really need a specific like direct counter to this thing, or you're just gonna get mowed. But there's so
Yeah.
many holes. He has 2 Pokemon that are very similar. He has Magneton and Vikavolt, 2 electric types. Um,
I
and
think, from my perspective, if he gets rid of Shuckle Magneton, that's good. But
I
also,
I
Magneton is a
agree.
good Evilite user with
Yeah,
Magnet Pull Body Press. It's a worse Magma Zone, but
yeah.
it's decent within its own range.
I mean, I think with these 3 teams, you got Tiny's team, Phoenix's team, and Lynn's team. You have a lot of good Pokemon, but there's not a lot of synergy. Like this team doesn't
Yeah,
really, it doesn't really like swap around well. You have you have Parting Shot, U-turn on Silvally with great pivot, and Vikavolt has Volt Switch, but the rest of this team does not have any momentum gaining moves, and I think that's
um,
gonna.
well, Magneton gets Volt Switch as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm thinking of under the impression that he drops it because he already has an electric type, but
Yes,
um,
I think he definitely should think about dropping.
like a similar
Um,
speed tier electric type as well. Um,
yeah,
okay, Superior is pretty good, but no hidden
Superior
power.
Contrary is amazing.
No hidden power actually makes it have a really tough matchup because it cannot touch grass types. The sub leech sets do not work. And no HP fire to hit stuff like Ferrothorn makes it gets obliterated by so much now. Glare is still obviously good, but yeah, Superior I think it is
Their
like
sets are really good.
overpriced nowadays. Nidoqueen is good, but no recovery. Jellicent is really good. Togekiss,
Jellicent
okay.
Super is disgusting.
I think that boy putting this team under bees is a little crazy, but yeah, I don't think this team is that good. We're also starting to get into the territory of teams are good, but the rest of the teams are just better because we did hamper on these bottom four teams a lot, but they all have their strengths. No team is awful, which I think is good. But let's move on to Shandy's team. The X Factor of -1. I have them at 12. Dat Boy has them at 13th. I think this team got worse with the free agencies because he had Blissey before. But okay, this team.
Yeah, getting rid of Blissey would be huge loss for him.
This team has the worst offensive presence out of all of the teams, but is like top 3 in defense. Its defense is really good. So I think in draft defense is harder to play. Because stuff like Vileplume, stuff like Celesteela, stuff like
I don't know why he has Vileplume, to be completely honest. He doesn't have any. Doesn't have any Sun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but there is a really good Vileplume set that's like Leech Seed, Strength, Sap, Dual Stabs with Effect Spore.
Yeah.
That's
a really
infuriating set. It's so annoying to play against, and I think I might play Shandy, and I'm very not looking forward to Vileplume. That was not a sentence, but Celesteela, fantastic Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
The problem is with this team, he doesn't have a lot of offensive options. Celesteela can run a good offensive set that's like where you have
Yanshao can be disgusting.
Yeah, Mayanshao is good. I was gonna say
what was that?
his big offensive Pokemon are Mamoswine, Zardex, Mayanshao. He can't even run Crobat offensively because what I was also gonna say, he has a big weakness in hazard removal because it's just Crobat and then Spin Morpeko, which is I've never seen run in my life. But okay, Meowstic is good. We'll talk about Meowstic later, but I wanted to keep talking about his lack of offense means that Celesteela you can run offensive, but it's not as good as the Leech Protect sets.
Oh yes, definitely.
Like Mamoswine. Mamoswine, I also like to run like the Stealth Rock sets. Zardex, you can run an offensive set, but like the bulkier sets with DD. I mean, Mineshaw is going to be great for this team. It helps with the longevity with Regenerator. Well, this team
Regenerator U-turn is
this team has great longevity with Vaporeon because Wish Heal Bell is good. It's a good Wish passer, but Diancie is okay because he already had a pretty big steel weakness with Mamoswine. But I like Diancie. Okay, this team, I think the big struggles are hazard removal and offense. It's great defense. But offense, you want to be able to... Yeah, you want to be able to have versatility with mons like Celesteela and Mamoswine. They have a lot of good different sets they can run. Same with Zardex, in a sense. But he's kind of put himself in a position where he doesn't really have many offensive win conditions. So he's going to be forced to run offensive Mamo and Celesteela more often if he wants to deal with... If he wants to, like, have an offensive win con. And that kind of takes away... That kind of takes away from their potential. But I think this team could get a lot better in free
Also,
agency.
Alt Vent Dusk Noir can be very threatening, especially since it has Poltergeist now.
It does have Poltergeist now. It finally got the Ghost Stab. I had it. Um, it's good for Trick Room. And you can run
Yeah.
like Trick Room, Wisp, Poltergeist is like the ultimate cheese set. He doesn't have.
Yeah, especially since Meowstick can get Prankster Trick Room.
Meowstick, I want to talk about this thing. You got the Prankster Meowstick is really good. You can pass stats that aren't speed, and you can pass like one stat. So my example is you can pass Swords Dance, but not Bulk Up. Meowstick can pass Nasty Plot into Celesteela. That's really the only recipient, but I really want Shandy to try that 1 week. I think that's gonna be like be really good. This can get like 3 or 4 kills if he can pull it off. But
Yeah.
let's move on. I think we're taking like a really long. Yeah, it's 4:42 already for me. We're taking quite a while, so let's try to speed through. Next is Piggy Man.
I mean we're good on time. We want to have a decently long video. Most strat videos go on for a while.
Yeah, I know we want to. Yeah, but I mean, I've I've got places to be, Drolo. Speaking of B, we do not have DMB's team. We do not have B's team, but we have Piggy Man's team. This team is the exact opposite of Shandy because it is so much offense. Ludicrous offense. This team is also so fast. You have Speed Boost Yanmega, Darkrai, Zeraora, Mega Sceptile. This team is so fast. Cryogonal is even fast. Blaziken, I mean, there's no speed boost, but it's still fast. Crocodile's like a great Scarf Pokemon as well. Dude, this team is really fast. But the thing is, I think it's the exact opposite of Shandy's team. With Shandy, you had a lot of great defensive potential, but no offense. And with this team, you're going to be running. I think Registeel is going to come every week. I think he has to bring Registeel so often.
Or Cofagrigus.
Yeah, I mean they accomplish similar things. I would have preferred if he got a better specially defensive Pokemon to pair with Xatu. But okay, Registeel I think is gonna come every week because it accomplishes so much for his team. It's a great pickup for him. But as I said with Shandy's team, his defensive capabilities are really limited. He doesn't have a lot of things that can take a hit. Like ground is a pretty big weakness as well.
Yeah, definitely. Ground can do some very bad sweeping.
Because he has
something like Rhyperior.
Rhyperior is gonna put in a lot of work versus team. Because you don't even want to bring in Sceptile as a resist. Because it's pretty frail. I mean, and also Rhyperior gets Mega Horn, but that's besides the point. Because you look at like his front 5, 3 of them are weak to ground. He does try to fix that with two flying types later, but the downside is like it's 2 flying types. But I don't think 2 flying types is that bad. I mean, I have 2 flying types, so I can't really complain. This that boy really likes this team. He has him at 6. The X Factor is 5, tied for the highest with B's. I think that okay. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are Blaziken not having access to Speed Boost is definitely a huge loss for it, in my opinion. Because then you're just running a more shitty Infernape, in my opinion.
And more shitty Emboar. Because even though Blaziken's faster, Emboar's...
I think it could be definitely more shitty than Emboar.
Yeah. Okay, but I mean...
It does have the speed on it.
It accomplishes a good typing partner. I think it's cool that his Fire, Water, Grass core is all starters, but...
Starter. Yeah, but also his Steel Fairy Dragon core is disgusting.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty heinous.
Primarina
Primarina,
Registeel is like you can run bulky or especially
yeah, like specs,
active.
especially
Yeah,
active. No, I
shut
think
up.
that. Sorry,
No, you're good.
nah, I'm messing with you. I think that once again, the weakness of this team is obviously defense. Primarina is great,
Yeah.
especially defensive bulk, but I think he's gonna be
I
running.
think if he gets rid of Zop for something a little more bulky, maybe
He's
something like
gonna
double.
well, Zatu. I mean, teleport is kind of good, but I agree in a way.
Oh, definitely.
This team also, ironically, doesn't have the best pivoting options. I mean, I think Crocodile gets U-turn, Zeraora Volt Switch, Zatu teleport, but
Uh, I think did Primarina get
oh,
access to
it
flip turn?
yeah, it does. Okay, never mind. It gets flip turn. I'm thinking Primarina is going to be ran bulky twice as much as it's going to be ran offensively at least.
Yeah.
But okay, I think that boy said this guy's a good battler, so we'll have to see. I've said everything I want to say. Do you have any final remarks before we get to a very fun and special team next?
Darkrai is definitely a huge threat for this team. Do
Yeah,
not underestimate that. Take that out as fast as possible.
we didn't talk about Darkrai. Obviously, fantastic. Uh, Banned for a reason. I mean, you're gonna see Hypnosis at least once. You're gonna see Nasty
Oh,
Plot at least
definitely.
once. I think he can
Dreamier,
run
great.
you can run specs. There's a lot of very cool things. But alrighty, let's move on to the Chicago Bulls at number
This is
10.
my team.
You made the top 10. How do you feel?
I'm happy,
I know
but
Drolo said or
I
not Drolo. Helix said he hated this team.
yeah.
This was before all of your adjustments though. You made some cool
Oh
adjustments.
yes, definitely. I definitely had to make some adjustments. G Darn was a horrible pick on my end.
I like Darmanitan Galar, but not on this team. I don't. Okay, let's talk about the obvious
Oh yes,
strengths first. Bulu Lucha, is always
Lucha's amazing.
Halucha is such a devastating draft Pokemon because it forces so much prep and then just doesn't even come. You have Godlurk. Um, okay, you have this is like another weather team that's kind of semi weather. You have two gimmicks
It's
on this
semi
team.
weather. I can run it if I want to.
I mean, I really just think that when Zard Y is gonna come, it's gonna be selfish with its drought. It's not gonna bring
Oh,
it to
I
to
mean
for a victory
the
bell to set
only
up.
two ones I have to like definitely abuse the weather is solar power,
Heliolisk and Chlorophyll victory
and
bell, which
chlorophyll. Chlorophyll Victory Belt is super underrated. It gets access to Sap Sipper. It gets access to a decent physical special move pool.
no, the real
Especially
strategy,
since
you have to run Terrain Extender Tapu Bulu, and then switch in the
oh
Drought
yeah,
Charizard Y, and then have a super fast, hard hitting victory bell. That will be. You have to run that, or you're banned from the Sunrise Draft League. Uh, Drolo. Oh, this is so sad. It seems as if he had some Wi-Fi issues, so he'll just pop back in whenever. I'll just keep talking about the team. I won't move on though. Um, let's just keep talking about Victory Bell until he comes back. What a great Pokemon. Okay, but while he's not here, I'll highlight some of the flaws. I think Turtonator is completely useless on this team. You already had a dragon and a fire type, and two fire types actually. Um, I think Regigigas is not the best on this team. You have a normal type. You have Golurk, which is a very similar Pokemon. Regigigas is kind of like a defensive option that's inferior to Cresselia in every way. This team is very slow. His fastest is Hawlucha and Heliolisk, which aren't that fast. Um, Duraludon is a bad Pokemon. That's about all. Let's see where Drolo went. Okay, it says he's still in the call. Can you hear me? This is weird. He keeps leaving and oh, you're back. Phew. Okay.
Yeah, we can cut that out. Just cut that out.
We can, but you think I'm gonna edit this video? No, this is all still in the video. No, I was talking about your team. I'll just really quickly highlight the weaknesses. I think Turtonator's a redundant Pokemon because you already have 2 fire types and a dragon type. But without it, your removal needed a rapid spinner. I like Turtonator too, but not on this team because it's really redundant aside from rapid spin. But you can get another spinner. I was also saying I don't really like Regigigas on this team either. You have a normal type and you just got Godlurk, which is very similar to Regigigas because it's just a big, hard, bumbling physical hitter. The team is kind of slow. Your fastest is Hawlucha and Heliolisk, which they're pretty fast, but like the rest of this team I feel like is pretty slow. And Hawlucha is not really going to matter for speed because it's going to come in with Unburden and just be like mega fast anyway, so yeah. But that's about it. I think this team is better than Dat Boy gives it credit for. The X Factor is obviously -2. Bulu Lucha's crazy, Sun is pretty good, and Cresselia is good. Let's move on. Unless you want to say anything else.
I like my team. I think my team is gonna win. Thumbs up.
Alrighty. You know what? We'll take it. Next up, I think it's Sam's birthday today.
It is Sam's birthday. Happy birthday, Sam.
Your birthday present is you're in the bottom half on my end. Okay, he is 9th. That boy has him at 8th.
He has a decent team. Megalopony Scrappy is disgusting.
Megalopony. To me, this team is Gliscor, Megalopony, and Associates. There's not a lot of standout aside from Megalop Gliscor, which is a fantastic core. Gliscor deals with fairies and flying pretty well, and Megalopony will discourage ice types. And they're supported pretty well by the rest of the gang. Metagross beats fairy hard and resists ice.
Yeah. I know Sam for a while, and he definitely can be a comeback king.
Ah, okay, he's a comeback.
Like, he can come back hard. In one tournament, he lost his first round, and he got selected for wild card, and he came back and won it.
The whole tournament. That's
disgusting.
That's sick.
This was a tournament that we did in another server. It was egg groups and stuff. We just made one team for fun.
That's fun. Okay, Nihilego is a pretty dope Pokemon.
Oh yeah, one of my favorite Ultra Beasts.
Yeah, and it's benefited by the fact that he has like one of the best ground immunities in the game. In Gliscor.
Yeah, Gliscor is disgusting.
Gliscor is my least favorite Pokemon. It's so annoying to go against. Its design's cool though, so I can't really be mad. But okay, Hydreigon is good. Good Scarfer. Good nasty plot user. Yeah, I think Metagross is all about utility on this team.
Yeah.
It's like his it's his only rocker outside of Gliscor. I think no, Nihilego definitely gets rocks. Never mind, but Yeah, those are his only rockers. Okay, we can get into weaknesses now.
Ice.
Ice is a big weakness. 4 times weakness in Gliscor. You really want to have a bunch of resists, and then he adds Eldegoss and Emolga on top, and Hydreigon. So 4 pretty bad ice weeks. I do not like Rabambi on this team at all.
Robbie is his sticky webs boy. Wait, see. He has Gliscor. He has.
Yeah,
he
but
has
he.
5 Pokemon weak to ice.
Oh yeah, yeah. Rabambi's obviously another ice week. He does have 5 ice weeks, which is crazy. But I don't think that you need the webs on this team because Megalop outspeeds everything in its mother anyway, and
Yeah.
like the only other abuser I can think of is Metagross, which you don't really want to be running speed on that thing, uh, to get it into like the high 200s range. And Hydreigon is already in a pretty good speed tier as well. Uh, Rabambi also basically shares a speed tier with Nihilego. It's 355, 361, which is like there's no reason you need two things so similar. And we'll get to that with my team because I have a similar situation going on. Anything you want to say?
About Sam's team, I think
Like
personally,
weaknesses wise.
Weaknesses wise, he really needs to watch out for ice. Other than that, I think ground is another huge weakness for him.
Yeah. But this is a good team.
It's very decent within its own half. If it can get the ball rolling, it can easily sweep.
Yeah, I think this is like your team and this are like the first good teams that don't have any like glaring flaws. Um, sit. What's his Lapide's big brother? Centiscorch. Centiscorch.
Yeah.
You better run substitute coil
Oh yeah, subcoil is disgusting.
with the what's the Slackberry. So you take half from rocks and then you sub and Slackberry triggers and then you coil. That's a fantastic set, and if I don't see you running it, I'm gonna be furious. But alright, we'll move on to. So this team I have it at 9, and Dat Boy has it at 8th, and the next team I have it at 8, and Dat Boy has it at 9, and it's Nest. So we move into the top half.
The Brayford Bay Leaves.
This team is disgusting.
It's absolutely horrifying. In the beginning, he has like some really rough picks with Cinderace, drafting that super late. But
Yeah.
then he has a disgusting Steel Dragon Fairy Core with Melmetal Gudra Slurpuff. Ugh.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting.
Toxapex Lando T, the big like OU I hate you mons.
Yeah.
So okay,
Dusclops can be a really great tank.
He has Mega Sableye, Toxapex, Dusclops.
Claydol, bit of an oddball for me.
Well, okay. I think Claydol is needed for Rapid Spin because the rest of his removal wasn't the best.
Oh no, definitely. It's just a bit of, from my perspective, I think it's the oddball out on the team. That and Flanks.
Phalanx is the weakest Pokemon on the team in my opinion. It's so like everyone always talks about like no retreat. It's so good. No retreat.
No retreat can be pretty good with Shed Bell, I think it is, so you actually can switch.
With Shed Shell, yeah, but even then you're running Shed Shell on your breaker, which is kind of trash. Melmetal is fantastic. It's one of my favorite Pokemon in draft. But the problem with it is he doesn't have Trick Room for it outside of Dusclops. Which I think he can run 1 or 2 weeks, but it's a little subpar. This team is basically the best defensive team in the league, though.
Yes, definitely. He definitely pulls off. like the D in defense.
Yeah. Before, I
Toxic
think
X, amazing.
he was.
Regenerator Slowbro.
Yes.
Slowbro.
Regen,
He's
Slowbro,
busted.
Galar. I mean, he had triple poison, but it wasn't even that bad. It wasn't even that exploitable. And then he swapped out Mega Venusaur for Mega Sableye, which is even more disgusting. He has Toxapex Mega Sableye, which I
Yeah,
vomited
it's-
at the sight of.
Yeah, I'm horrified to fight this team because I
Slurp.
played that week too.
Yeah, I fight this week 1, so don't complain. Slurpuff is another good Pokemon with that belly drum citrus. But you kind of have to like play around that being your win con. It takes a bit of skill to get the Slurpuff
Oh yeah,
swing.
definitely. Magic Coat with Sticky Webs is also a really good strategy with Citrus Berry on Burden.
Slurpuff is like the skillful version of Hawlucha because you don't just switch it in and have 600 speed. You need to get the belly drum off on a good turn. But
Yeah.
I think the biggest weakness of this team, well, there are a few. Freeze Dry kind of wrecks it, but
Oh yeah,
the
Freeze Dry can destroy this team without a doubt.
Freeze Dry is kind of a dumb move, though. I think the only abusers are gonna be Dark Sam with Lapras, and then Phoenix with Alolan Ninetales. And then the other big weakness is I think you can get a better fighting type than Phalanx, especially something fast, because this team is really slow. Its fastest Pokemon is Landorus, Therian, and Delphox actually. But even then, Delphox is like 106 base speed, so it doesn't even break 110. So Aladios, Bees is gonna have a fun time versus this team actually. But
Oh yeah, Beast is gonna have a horrifying time against this. Beast is gonna have a horrifying time against really any team, in my opinion.
Oh no, I'm saying Bees kind of does well, I think, because Latios outspeeds his whole team.
Yeah, but Draco Meteor does more harm than good for it.
Well, yeah, but then you can just like
if he gets a Draco Meteor off, I mean, you're gonna have to run White Herb just to get that special attack back.
or just like switch. But okay.
Yeah.
Any final remarks? Any final remarks?
Delphox is very interesting.
Yeah, he is double psychic with those two, and triple psychic
Yeah.
actually.
Triple Psychic. Bug
So-
he needs to watch out for a bit.
Yeah, he has
Or-
a lot of
Or
dark.
for that
dark.
matter.
Dark is
Oh
actually
yeah, Dark is his biggest weakness.
yeah,
But
and
he has Phalanx and Slurpuff for it.
his resists though are his biggest like offensive pressures aside from Melmetal. But okay, I think this team is
Next
good.
week-
I would definitely try to switch Phalanx. I think it's overrated, but the rest is good. Next is the Sand team. This team,
oh my God.
aside
This
from
team is
someone we'll get into later, I think this team has had the best free agencies as well.
He stole Heatran from me, and I'm so pissed. Round 1. I'm so pissed about that.
Heatran on Sand is definitely interesting. I think it's cool, but he's gonna be running defensive Heatran a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, let's immediately get into the big.
Sandrush Dracovish.
Yeah, I mean you lose out on Strongjaw, but you can run Banded in the sand.
Yeah, Sandrush Dracovish. I don't know if that's better. Or like on par.
Yeah, I mean it could be considered better, but then again, it takes Sand Chip, so I would say I prefer
Yeah.
it regular. But even then, you have the option to just run something like Heatran, Dracovish, Klefki, Mega B, Shiinotic, and then Mantine, and just run regular Scarf. You don't even have to run the Sand, and it's gonna be really stupid.
I don't know why he has Q to fly.
I pushed up Dracovish and Draco Zolt in the tier list because of the because they were getting their Sand Rush ability, and he still took it, and it still really works. Yeah, we can get into Cutie Fly, which is just a hysterical pick.
Yeah, I think he should definitely swap that out. Like
But
100%.
I mean, if you look, he has.
Switch it out for like Fear Aeron or something.
Well, yeah, but
Something that like synergizes with the team more.
I really like that he swapped out Vespiquen for Shiinotic, because Shiinotic will
It's really good.
it will be able to it gave him a grass type that he didn't have before, and it gave him a fairy type. So I think he should drop Cutie Fly as well. But that fairy type that he has is going to be really helpful for dealing with fighting, especially after he swapped Palos. Because before he had Rhydon, and with Rhydon,
Yeah.
that was his like fourth fighting weakness, and he had a times 4 as well. So that immunity is really helpful. But I still really think this team struggles a lot versus Mega Lopunny, but that's just one matchup. Anything you want to say?
I think this team, unburden Hitmonlee, basically just bootleg Hawlucha.
Yeah, the thing is,
If he brings that in like something that he know has terrain and he runs one of the seeds on it, that can be disgusting, to say the least.
yeah, I think that Klefki is a cool pick on this team. I know it gets.
He's definitely a cool pick with
I-
Magnet Rise, with screens.
Yeah, I
He
know it.
definitely helped get teams
It gets
defensive.
Sunny Day. I don't know if it gets Sandstorm, but how awesome would it be if he puts up the manual sand with Prankster Klefki?
That would be amazing. I'm actually gonna look at that right now.
Because I know it gets Sunny Day and Rain Dance, but I don't know if it gets Hail and Sandstorm. While he's looking at it, Excadrill Dracovish, the dual
no,
threat.
it does not get Sandstorm. It does
Okay.
get Spikes though.
Yeah, good spike setter. Okay.
Oh my god! Wait, priority substitute?
Yeah, it is priority sub. It has a lot of cool sets. I mean, the power of Prankster. It might get. Check if it gets Baton Pass, because Baton Pass is legal too.
It does not get Baton Pass.
Okay, phew. That would have been devastating. Okay, but
Yeah.
let's think. I think the biggest weakness of his team is he's very physically biased. Beedrill, Dracovish, Excadrill, Hitmonlee are all a big physical attackers.
Mantine is definitely a strange pick for on his end.
Well, it's his defogger, but I agree. I think he could.
Defogger, but he has Excadrill for rapid spin, which is just 100% better in every capacity.
I think he could use for a. I think.
Like in my opinion, I think he should drop Mantine for something like Gastrodon.
I was gonna suggest Alamomula because if he adds Gastrodon would be his third ground type, and Alamomula is a Wish Passer, which is very dope for his team. Because you want some longevity, especially with a lot of things taking sand chip. Having a Wish Passer while the rest of the team gets chipped by sand could be like a viable strategy. But yeah, that's my one suggestion. This is a good team. This is a great team. Datboy does not like it though. I think Datboy was mad that someone else drafted Weather. Okay.
Alright, next.
Behold, the Roanoke Raichus GOAT team.
Definitely not biased. Definitely not biased.
Yeah, no, I was not biased. I put myself out of the top 5. Datboy thought I was top 5. Okay, but this team is really good.
Naganadel is crazy. If you could definitely start sweeping with that.
Nasty plot Naganadel. I have some fun sets for Naganadel, but it gets unreal coverage. It gets Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Air Slash, Dark Pulse, Signal Beam, crazy stuff. And I think it pairs well with Skarmory because Skarmory is a steel type that is immune to ground.
Skarmory Blissey, which is a classic defensive
Cool.
Scar Bliss. Oh, if this was an
Scar Bliss.
ADV
That's sick.
ADV draft league, Scar Bliss would just be terrorizing everyone. Oh, okay. But Blissey Seismitoad is a great defensive backbone because Seismitoad's main issue is that it doesn't get recovery. That's the one thing that makes it equal to Gastrodon is because it has way better stats, but and like rocks, but it doesn't get recovery. But Blissey is the fattest wish passer, and Mega Gardevoir gets wish as well. So I'll be able to pass wish into Seismitoad, keep it alive for longer. Also, Heal Bell is great because Seismitoad getting toxic is like awful for it.
Oh yeah.
I originally had what? Wartortle's my. You kind of cut out. I didn't hear.
Wartortle is definitely interesting.
I have a very fun Wartortle set planned, but I kind of before I
You could run that as a spinner if you really wanted to.
before I had Rotom because originally it was Manectric. I wanted some more help with removal, but now I have pretty dope removal. I have Skarmory, Colossal, Ninjask, Rotom, Wartortle, 5 removal options. Is pretty cool. Tangela is going to be really good with Blissey because Blissey has Unholy Spadef, and Tangela has with the Eviolite 500 defense and Regenerator. So
that's horrifying.
I really wanted Tangela, but I had originally drafted Chansey, and then Shandy dropped Blissey, so I just picked Blissey up and then got Tangela. But there's a few weaknesses on this team. Urshifu and Gardevoir have basically the same speed stat, which is pretty easy to prep for. But other than that, I mean,
yeah, it's definitely a decent team to say the least.
Decent to say the
Are you
least.
allowed to run speed boost?
Yes, but I can't speed boost Baton Pass.
Okay.
But Ninjask is really, I don't expect it to come that often. It's just heavy duty boots now. It makes it good, so you can run like Swords Dance, speed boost, and not just get exposed by Stealth Rocks. But yeah, I mean, Rotom is a good Scarfer. Colossal's quad weak to water, but then you have water absorb Seismitoad. I think that's good synergy.
Yeah, that could be really good. That could be a really good hard switch.
Urshifu is a dumb Pokemon as well. I'm surprised Urshifu lasted as long as it did, to be honest.
I mean, there is no water. No one drafted water Urshifu.
Thankfully, I don't have to deal with Urshifu. That thing exposed me in the finals of the draft league. You can ask Datboy about it. Okay, the one weakness I think with this team is, for a grass type, Tangela is not the best. You kind of want something. I mean, it has good longevity, but you want to be able to hit things with grass. And then the biggest weakness is there's not a good fairy resist for special attacks, especially with with so many things getting mystical fire now. So Skarmory's not a good check. My big fairy check is Blissey, which is granted a pretty good special defense check just all around, but you really don't want to be relying on Blissey because I think Blissey's going to come to a lot of games where I need it, and that kind of takes away my creativity. That's like the one weakness with this team, though. I think it's really good. Anything you want to say, or should we move on to the top 5?
I think we should move on to the top 5.
All right,
You said everything I wanted to say.
Yeah, I know my team well. I think the Wartortle set might come week 1 because it's good versus Nest, but probably not. Probably not. Okay, the top 5 is Record Man, Datboy, Helix, Epic Pants, and Jamal. But what is the order? We'll have to find out. So in fifth place, with a pretty bad X factor. Oh, by the way, really quickly, uh, DMBs has the worst X factor at -3 because that boy doesn't like his team. But okay, at fifth we have Epic Fans. This team is unbelievable.
Dude, Cinder Race?
You got Cinderace in post. Yeah.
Cinder Race was actually swapped around a bit because no one drafted it until round 7, and then during grace period it got taken out.
Ness dropped, and then Epic Pants is like, alright, let me make some adjustments, and then he picks up Cinderace with Torn T and Mega Diancie. I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quickly, so you want to just talk about the team while I'm
I'd
gone?
definitely like to talk about this team. Electivire is probably one of my favorite picks for this team. Definitely stands out as a bulky electric type with great pivot options with Volt Switch. Especially getting high horsepower now, it can definitely take care of some fire types. Defiant Passimian is amazing in my opinion. Another great pivot option. Great with close combat. If he knows someone is bringing terrain, like he could definitely apply for this. Let me see what else. Wheezing is just amazing. He can run Levitate, obviously, or run Neutralizing Gas, which is great against Pokemon like Mold Breaker, Excadrill, Adaptability, Beedrill, like My Drought Charizard, Tough Claws Charizard Y. It's definitely super good on that end. Great spinning with Sand Slash, except he has no Sand Setter to make it good. Jinx is definitely a wonky option to me. Drampa is amazing in my opinion. Berserk can go in some crazy directions. Defiant Empoleon is definitely interesting as well. He can run that with Ice Shard. He can run
I'm back.
Aqua Jet. All right, awesome. I
Sorry.
was just talking about Empoleon.
Empoleon, yeah. This is I'm like, I think Empoleon's overrated. Epic Pants has done like the best job of building around Empoleon that I've ever seen, because with Empoleon it's a bulky water that's weak to ground. But he has in his front court he has some pretty strong ground resists with, well, Tornadus is an immunity. He has like the best ground immunity in the game, and Delmice is a good resist as well. What?
I was talking about Wheezing and how like it's arguably better than Galarian Wheezing.
Yeah, I think it's a good defensive annoyer. Wisp 120 defense, only weak to Psychic. With Levitate at least, it's pretty good. His speed tier is good. He has Cinderace and Torn T, which are fast. Passimian's a great Scarfer. Yeah, Jinx, I don't really know what it's doing on here.
Jinx is good. It's just a Psychic and Ice type that I think he might need to bring for a couple games. I talked about how Sand Slash is good, but it definitely needs something to set up Sand in order to make it like that much better.
Yeah, Sand Slash is the other Pokemon I would say you maybe want a different ground type, because the big Sand Slash things that it has going for it are Rapid Spin and Sand, and he doesn't. He has another great Rapid Spinner in Delmice, and he doesn't really need. He doesn't have Sand, so I think he could swap Sand Slash for something.
Out for something like Mudsdale.
Oh my no! Why you give him that idea? He's gonna do it.
That was just the first ground type that came to mind.
I'm like beyond scared if that happens.
Don't worry, I'm gonna draft it right after we finish recording.
Yeah. Do not allow it. Okay. Anything else you want to say about Epic Pants' team? Also, I've heard from Dat Boy he's a very experienced battler, which does not make me happy.
It's definitely a great team to say the least.
Okay, I think every team in the top 10 has the chance to go all the way, and then every team in the bottom 6 with adjustments has a chance to go all the way. So remember, this is only week 1.
Mhm.
We might do one of these midway through the season. See where everything is changed, and also we'll have like the wins and losses in as well. Okay, I'm moving on to the 4th team, which is Helix.
I think personally, Epic Pan should have been above Helix, in my opinion. But Helix has a great team.
Yeah, I was looking at his front 5, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this team is really good. Except he's a little dark weak, and he doesn't have any reliable recovery. And then his next 2 picks were a justified Pokemon and something that can Wish Pass, and I'm like, jeez, come on. But this was great drafting by Dat Boy, who ghosted Helix. No, I'm just kidding.
Munchlax is a funny option.
Yeah.
Definitely would be cool to see that do some stuff.
I don't think it's going to be brought to any game. I think he just wanted a normal type.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely better normal types in Tier 1.
Munchlax is pretty thick, though.
There's definitely some better normal types he could have drafted. Like first, I think Stantler is in Tier 2.
I think Munchlax was a 1-point mon, but I'm not sure.
No, it's 2 points.
Yeah, I don't know then. I think he could have gotten Stantler is Intimidate, which is pretty cool. That's like
my personal suggestion would actually be Raticate. Raticate got some huge buffs.
Yeah. No, you can run like Super Fang stuff too, which is good nature's.
You can run Super Fang close combat on Raticate now. Which is
it got CC. Kind of dope. Raticate's the truth. Yeah, but this team is really good. Dragapult Mawile is a dope core. That covers their respective weaknesses pretty well as well.
Mm-hmm. Mega Mawile is absolutely disgusting.
Supports it with some great mons like Slowking, Rotom Heat. Donphan is a great rapid spinner. Nidoking, I think I kind of like the Nidoking Donphan double ground action that's going on. It's one of the better double up on typing shenanigans that have happened. Rotom Heat is obviously a great mon, only weak to rock, which he more than covers with his other Pokemon. I think
especially with White Herb, it can definitely be very useful with Overheat.
Yeah, White Herb Overheat. You got Trick. You have Volt Switch. Good pivoting. This team also, it does pivot quite well.
Yeah, U-turn on Archeops. U-turn on Dragapult, and then Volt Switch on Rotom.
Yeah, and Regenerator Teleport with Slowking is another good one. I've gotten a 6-0 in Draft League with Calm Mind, Scald, Slack Off. It was okay. Calm Mind, Scald, Slack Off, Stored Power, Slowking. I've gotten 6 kills with that thing in draft. I think he loves Sticky Web, so he drafted Masquerain, but that's to me like the weak point of the team because he doubles up on Water type, but he might bring webs 1 or 2 games.
It's bug flying.
It's not bug water. I'm high. I'm smoking. I've okay. Well, then it's a bit better. It's got Intimidate. It would have been cool. Yeah. Stantler, Masquerain, double horrible Intimidate users.
Dude, I think Stantler would actually be a really good draft for him.
Yeah, swap Munchlax for Stantler. This team is really good. I think this team has a high chance to win if he can use Dragapult creatively. But yeah. I've played Helix a few times. And we're just gonna move on. We're not gonna talk about his battling. Dat Boy and him are good friends. X Factor's +1 probably as a reason for that, but I think this third place team barely edges him out, and then of course the top two teams are like a league of their own. Next is Record
Riker
Man's
fan?
team. Dude,
Holy
I wanted Clefable pretty badly, and then I saw Black Curum Black Clefable, and I was so disappointed.
I'm horrified by just seeing those two paired.
Yeah, Curum Black
Because
Clefable.
you can run both of Fable, or you can run Magic Guard Life Orb, and you
Yeah,
don't
with the
take
Calm
the Life
Mind.
Orb damage.
Yeah. That thing is like
that's
the
absolutely
boon of
disgusting.
OU. He's going to bring Clefable every game and get away with it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the best utility Pokemon in the game. I really wanted it to pair with Naganadel. Um,
Oh yeah.
Rotom Wash.
But then that would be. What were we saying?
I was gonna say Rotom Wash is a great Pokemon to pair with those two because it gives a
It
pivot
gives a
option.
pivot option.
It can also run Scarf Trick. Yeah, he's got two good trick users. I can't wait for the ridiculous item displacement because there's like Sticky Barb Clef. Sticky Barb Clef is gonna come at least 1 week. Life Orb Calm Mind is gonna come. Most of the time, it's gonna be your standard Protect Wish Teleport Blast. Bronzong is a good Pokemon. Clefable has Heal Bell, I think, so you can run the rest set with Clefable Heal Bell, and then you don't have to do the rest turns. Which is what Tiny should have done with Suicune, and he has no Heal Bell user there, I don't think. Or at least no good one. Mega Aerodactyl is a great speed tier, it's a good rock setter to pair with Clefable. It's another offensive pressure to pair with Kyurem Black. And then
is it Tough Claws or Strong Jaw?
It's Strong Jaw.
It's Strong Jaw. Okay.
Yeah, because it likes to run the fang moves.
Yeah. Especially since it got access to dual wing beat now.
It did get access to dual wing beat. I think
Yeah.
it does it get Brave Bird?
No, I don't think it gets Brave Bird. I think its best flying move is dual wing beat now.
Yeah, but you get dual wing beat plus Hone Claws, so you don't miss. That's good stuff.
Absolutely horrifying.
And then Runerigus is another good Pokemon. The Wandering Spirit's gonna be good. I really like the bottom half of this team. I think it's one of the best like bottom halves. Runerigus, Venusaur, Espeon, Girder, Braixen. I think these are all good picks.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Girder's one of the biggest threats with of
Even
like
Girder with
any
Drain Punch can be definitely.
NFE Pokemon. It's one of the best.
Braixen's definitely interesting.
I can't wait to see what he does with it. I feel like Braixen's just like not gonna come any week.
Yeah, I think it's kind of redundant if you have Espeon. I think you could definitely get another fire type.
Yeah, one cool synergy is with Bronzong and Rotom Wash. Since Rotom Wash has Levitate, you can run Heat-Proof Bronzong. And then you're only weak to ground, but you just swap in Rotom Wash. But yeah, this team is. I think this team can go all the way. It really depends on how good of a battler he is, because unlike the top two teams, this team you kind of need to have more skill playing, like because the top two teams are Rain and Psy Spam, which are really easy.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of Rain and Psy Spam, let's talk about. Oh, by the way, Dat Boy doesn't like this team as much. He likes my team, and he likes his team better. But the last two teams are the only teams with 0 X factors, so it's the only like big agreements we have. So next is Dat Boy's team.
That boy's team is amazing, especially because of Tabu Koko with
Rising Voltage.
Pelipper.
Yeah.
Definitely horrifying.
So like before Rising Voltage, Tapu Koko on Rain was like a huge scary thing because you get terrain boosted 100% accurate Thunderbolts. Which I'll just repeat for the audience. You have terrain boosted 100% accurate Thunderbolts. Or, Thunderbolts, Thunders.
It's disgusting. Ferrothorn, one of the very few grass types that can function in rain. Great because it's, I believe its only weakness with fire is reduced in rain.
Well, yeah, it's also weak to fighting, but, he has, like, his other Pokemon more than help with his fighting weakness. He got Zapdos with, like, the last pick. I'm surprised he didn't go down the Mega Swampert route because now.
I'm very surprised he didn't do Mega Swampert.
But Mega Audino is okay. He can, if he really wants to, he can run something extremely cheesy with like Trick Room, Marowak Alola.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an option which I just thought of sitting here, which adds an entire new layer of horror to this team. But Zapdos in the rain, you have 100% accurate Hurricane and Thunder, and you have Weather Ball. And Zapdos has 130 in special attack. Nothing is surviving versus this.
Mm-hmm.
I rigged the bracket so I could play him. I'm kidding. I kind of switched one scheduling rule because he wanted to play me. And that is my biggest regret so far with the Sunrise Draft League. Anything
All right. I actually want to say a couple things. Sneasel, holy moly, that was a great pick on his end.
Yeah, good speed tier. Just like obliterates things with knockoff. Because, I mean, if you can even call it a weakness, one of the team's weaknesses without before he picked Sneasel was item displacement, but now he is one of the best knockoff users in the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's something I'm saving for the very end to talk about for this team. Do you want to touch on like Kingdra, Kabutops, or Grumpig?
Kingdra's great. Especially because of Swift Swim, definitely a great abuser of rain. Volbeat is
That's
meh.
that's what I was talking about. You say Volbeat's meh, but there's gonna be at least one or two games where Volbeat gets a tail glow and then baton passes into Zapdos or Tapu Koko.
I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah,
I don't even want to think about that.
I don't. I also don't want to think about that. I'm horrified at the prospect of that.
Kabutops is also super interesting with Swift Swim.
Yeah, Kabutops is his surrogate for Mega Swampert, which obviously is a lesser option, but there's Kabutops even works pretty well outside of rain. You got some like weakness policy, weak armor sets that could work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, every Pokemon on this team is great. Even Grumpig.
Yeah, Grumpig can be really interesting.
I mean, yeah, Grumpig it provides a cool. I don't think it's gonna come more than like 1 or 2 weeks, but it's good. All right, let's move on to this abomin. Who allowed this?
This, who, I don't know. He drafted super hard for his first couple picks.
Yeah, you got Lele, Corviknight, Mega Zam. Woo!
Incineroar, Garchomp, Buzzwole. Ugh.
I think Alakazam is Nasty Plot banned, which I'm very thankful for. If that thing got Nasty Plot in this league, I think there's no stopping Jamal.
Yeah.
Garchomp, he's probably going to run defensive a lot because there's no Z. But even without Z, Garchomp is a disgusting alternative to like his normal size spam. Good physical attacker. Buzzwole, I'm surprised I knew that Jamal liked this Pokemon because I wanted to move it down a tier, and he said no. But if he was planning on taking this, I think he should have said yes so he could get it at 1 point less. But
Yeah.
not all people are liars like Bolivia. Lantern is a great Pokemon though on this team. I think.
Yeah, Lantern has great synergy with this team, especially being able to pivot into something like Buzzwole is really good.
Yeah, because I think he really likes the immunities that he gets with water and Volt Absorb. Um, like if you're worried about an electric type, like you're playing Helix and or not Helix, you're playing Record Man, you're worrying about Rotom Wash Volt switching on Corviknight, then you just bring in Lantern. And if you're worried about something hitting a Hydro Pump on Incineroar, you bring Water Absorb. It's got some good synergy with this team.
Mm-hmm.
Gets Ice Beam.
Kangaskhan is definitely an interesting pick. He has also with a couple Eviolite users.
I was gonna say like okay, there's one thing that I might be able to exploit on this team, and it's that he doesn't really have a Wish Passer, and then he drafts Kangaskhan, which is a fantastic Wish Passer because its HP is so high, at a good discounted price as well. I mean, I guess he had Clefairy, but like,
yeah.
Okay, Clefairy honestly is a good Wish Passer now because of Teleport. This team is.
Yes.
I want to say it's slow, but then there's Mega Alakazam. It doesn't really have the best speed tiers though. You have Garchomp at 101 and then like 140 Mega Alakazam. But that's
if Garchomp got Dragon Dance, it'd be horrifying. This team would just be that much more horrifying.
Yeah, it's already really good. I also think Jamal is a pretty competent player based off of like the little I've talked with him in the server because he doesn't really talk that much. But yeah, I'm still very nervous. I'm glad I don't have to play this team.
I can definitely see him taking the gold.
I can see a lot of teams taking the gold, but he's the favorite for me.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, we didn't even talk about Tapu Lele has expanding force now, which is just good in itself.
Mm-hmm. The only suggestion I would really recommend is maybe getting rid of what tier is
Roselia?
What tier is Roselia?
I don't know. I think he wants Roselia for a grass type at a discount.
I think there's just better grass types than Roselia. In my
But
opinion.
yeah, I know that after his draft, he had like 10 points left for his final 4 Mons. And after Kangaskhan, it's 6 for 3, so he's averaging 2. So he's got like a pretty lackluster bottom backcourt, but I can't even complain about that. I think that, and like Marshtomp's not even that bad. You got a bulky water.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's. I see it coming to 1 or 2 games where it could probably pick up like a quick kill here and there or something
Yeah.
that like on.
I was really happy that I sniped him on War Turtle because he picked right before me, and I wanted to run Corviknight with Naganadel, but he took Corviknight, so I had to take Skarm. But I sniped him back with War Turtle. He wanted War Turtle in the 1-point column, and he's like, okay, there's no way this gets sniped, but I took it. Marshtomp can't run the super secret tech that I'm thinking of. Alright, but yeah, we did it. What, like
That's all it needs.
an hour and a half later? But honestly, this was a blast, Drolo. Thanks for doing this with me.
No problem. I'll put my YouTube in the subscription.
Yeah, just yeah, no, okay. Links to all of the coaches that are links to all the coaches that are gonna be uploading for the league will be in the description.
Yeah, I will be uploading battles. I will be
Yeah,
uploading prep.
I think
and
it's
I will be uploading battles.
it's your team. And I think Record Man said he was, maybe a few others. I'm not gonna upload my battles because maybe I can do post comms, but I really need to be like focused when I play. But
Yeah.
but I'm gonna do match of the week, which will be really fun. But
Okay.
that was it. I'm gonna end the recording.